What's up, guys? How you doing? Now, we're talking about what we're doing right here, right now. We're not talking about the past. We're putting everything else that happened before this moment behind us. If you think about 68% of the men and women coming home from prison and failing, returning back to the system in the first 3 years, there's a dichotomy here that we're struggling to fix. This is a country that's built on second chances, but it ends at the prison system. There's a huge amount of guilt with the men and women that have gone to prison. They've thought about the mistakes they've made, people they've hurt. They want to create a better community when they go back to that place. Through this college program that we've created, they're realizing that they can take their future and really make it very different than what they've seen in the past. I truly believe we will solve this problem in a way that is going to impact the entire country. I think a lot of our prisons in this country were built on an effort of punishment. You've spent 18 years in prison, 25 years in prison. If you think about somebody walking out of prison, everything they own is in a little bag, they get a check for $40, and good luck. 95% of these incarcerated men and women are returning to the community, with 68% returning back to prison in the first 3 years. It's daunting. So if we know that and we can deliver something better, the community gets the benefit of that. And that's why we're getting into the prison system and delivering college services to these men. And the fact is, you could talk to any philosopher ever, and education is the piece that frees your mind.
I'm fourth generation male incarcerated in my family. I took my gift for numbers to become a drug dealer. I took my gift of gab to negatively peer pressure other people into getting in the game with me. The education was very important because I didn't realize the connection between my natural talents and success.
There are programs that have built their model on the student that is on his last year of incarceration, or students that have never been a disciplinary problem. For us, we've proudly done the opposite. We want to work with the student that everyone else has given up on. I get that this could be offensive to folks who are struggling to put their own child into college, that we're giving this opportunity to somebody that's made mistakes. But there is a need and an urgency every day to get to these prisons and get this work done that no one else sees. I have seen the rippling effect of that 1 degree as it goes into their families, their children, their neighbors, their community. We are truly helping the community through this one person and this 1 degree. And we're looking at a very different future. Welcome home, man.
Yeah, babe. I need some clothes.
Let's get some clothes.
Let's
do
it. You know, my dream, man, always been to give back to, you know, some of the communities that I damaged, because a lot of the kids that come up behind me, they look up to me for all the wrong reasons. So I want to change that.
When the students are getting out and they get to this clothing area, for a lot of them, they left when they were teenagers. Now they're coming back in their late 30s or early 40s. There's no clothing, there's no nothing. All the education in the world is worthless if you don't have a clean shirt. We have 10 racks of business attire to help you be employable on the outside. That's good. Let's put this one on the side.
Appreciate y'all, man.
I'm reminded every day when I get that phone call from an incarcerated student's mother saying, hey, I know you don't understand this, but I'm worried about when he gets home. And being able to stop that mother on the phone and say, I do understand it. I was in that seat before your son was, and now I'm the director here. When I was 16 years old, I shot and killed a person, and I received a 24-year sentence for that. When I tried to wrap my head around the fact that I took a human life, the world got really small really quickly. And while I was sitting there thinking about how I failed everybody, one of the officers came to my cell and he just said to me, is there any chance I could get you to help me work with some of the other men? I really thought he was just messing with me. I still had braces on my teeth. Like, how was I possibly gonna help anybody? And he said, man, you're one of the most educated guys around. And I began to read to these men in an effort to get them to learn to read and write. Now, the fact is, I don't do any of this work because of low recidivism rates. I don't do any of this work because we're saving New York taxpayers money. But I do it because I really like when my brothers and sisters come home that they're doing as well as I've done. And that's really what makes it all come full circle. you don't stop thinking about that. I mean, that was 30 years ago. I'm still see that person's face when I close my eyes. I still live it every day, and the repercussions of that are daunting. But as I walked out of prison, I knew I was dedicating my life to help others. This is not about changing one person's life. We're changing the environment, we're changing the culture, we're creating safer prisons and places.
This has turned out to be a very successful story. So we're going to continue to be very supportive of programs that make impacts on people's lives.
The students will talk about this education. They talk about it being a new lens and how that new lens gives them a way to look at the world in a different way that they've never known even existed.
There's a quote by Victor Hugo that goes, "There is nothing like a dream to create the future."
Education made us who we are. Claude Helvetius.
Dr. Martin Luther King said the best way to solve a problem is to remove its cause. And you can't solve a problem with the same logic that created it.
Proud to say that this June I will be graduating with my bachelor's degree.
The students that we're working with upon release, our alumni coordinator is finding them employment in 5 or 6 weeks. That's good if you've never been in prison. We're telling the stories about second chances. Thank you, guys. Through this college program that we've created, we have a less than 1% recidivism rate, but it's really a 99% success rate. We're sending a message of hope.